everybody. Good morning. Hope your Christmas was merry. And sorry, my mattress sheet is not mattress sheet. My sheets. Forgive my stuff. I tend to sleep hard on my mattress. I'll try to at least get over here so it's somewhat more decent. I'm trying to look for something, a craft thing I had, but because I was moving the craft business downstairs and my office up here, that looks the most neatest. So the whole bedroom project got extended from like, what was it, June into like late July, and then phase 2 was spur of the moment. That's where I did the recording yesterday. It was from the new edit bay, and that space is right on the other side of my bedroom. And so I was doing that yesterday. Yeah, it was very, very passionate. And like I said, it's not gonna look good in like a week because the cunt known as Kelly Ayotte will be sworn as governor. And I don't like living in a state where a governor acts like a police officer, or I think I should call our principal Kelly, because I think that would be freaking hilarious. I need to come up with something other than Coyote, because then that just gets old. Like, it really does feel like the state is going to be a two-tiered system. The old white, not saying they all follow by the rules or not, but they pick and choose which rules they follow and which ones they don't. So the hold yourself by the bootstraps will be protected, but anyone who's really struggling, we're gonna just arrest them, we're gonna profile them and stuff like that. But Kelly, she destroys government records in the forms of email, and she gets away with it. And WMUR TV, the pirated TV station, like, I can't wait till the FCC tells her to shut down the station. Can't wait till they can shut those motherfuckers down, because Adam Sexton's literally a fuckboy. He likes people in power so he can put them on the news to pimp their propaganda, not ask any hard questions. Only, the promotions department likes to lie about the news department. I mean, they're the only TV station in this area that has a promotions department. And so, I don't know why people watch WMUR, as they call it, on a first name basis. I don't. I've lost respect for them years ago, and I just, like I said, they had multiple buyouts this year with their not even people in retirement age, but they just were, they were just getting too old to pay, because they don't have money, because Portland and Boston eat up their profit, any of the extra profits. Channel 9 just gets the scraps, and people still watch the station. They still think it is the station of record. Meanwhile, the Union Leader, the newspaper, it's the Boston Globe had done a story about a week or two ago about the Globe, and not the Globe. The Globe did a story on the Union Leader. My bad. I caught myself. Thank you for myself. But yeah. I hope your Christmas was great. Mine was a little bit rough. Apparently, my mother, we have a family tradition back in the day when my grandmother didn't have a lot of extra money. The only time my family could have Lucky Charms was on Christmas. So every Christmas, even after all that, we still kept the tradition. Although sometimes I buy Lucky Charms another time, because my mother had a little more cash, allegedly. And so when my mother went to go buy it on Christmas Eve, it was dated September 23rd for next year, the date, the best date. And apparently she thought that was the day Graham died. She had a little bit of a brain fart. It was September 20th of last year. So, regardless, that date triggered her. And so she had a rough day on Christmas. And then we kind of had our Christmas yesterday. It was really fun. We had a tree and all that. It was fun. Um, but it's been hard on her too. Been hard for me too because there are things that really bother me, but no one's gonna be watching. No one's gonna do anything. Apparently all these issues are isolated to me and my issues don't matter. And so as a result of all that, I really don't know how to be, if I should be more open than I should be. I'm really torn. I'm in my late 30s and I feel like I'm a failure. Sorry, I'm moving stuff in the moment. I'm just trying to find something here and I'm like a little child, which that must say a lot about me, that I kind of just felt stunned. And I feel like it's been like all my fault for not doing anything, which kind of goes back to the idea that I feel like I've gone nowhere in my life and it's still my fault. It's still my responsibility. And that's what I felt like in my last day program. It was like I chose to be different. This is like, again, I've seen a lot of autism channels on the web, on here on YouTube and on Facebook, and I've watched a lot of it, and a lot of people don't talk about. They talk about masking, stemming. I'm like, this doesn't relate to me. It relates to the abuse that I've dealt with in special ed, adult programs, school work programs, 30-hour-a-week programs, and stuff like that. Is it because it's too close to the age of autism stuff? Because I know that blog does talk about adult programs. The only blog out there that talks about it, but it's from the parents' perspective. So I'm like the only one. Is that because I'm too close to the anti-vax, but I'm not against vaccine, but just the autism mom, but I'm my own parent of myself or whatever. I feel like that's where I come from. I guess why people don't really care for what I really say, except for a few people. But I know here in New Hampshire, no one gives a flying fuck about. They don't give a fuck. I love how I had this mental cache of where I last saw something and I can't find it. I'm so burnt out. I'm so burnt out of being me. I'm so tired of living my life through hell every freaking day. I wish more people could just give me slack. Please like me. Please don't hate me. What did I do wrong? What have I done for you personally, for you to strongly dislike me? I just don't get it at all. I just feel so. This is the behind the curtain of where, and again, it's a little bit messy. Forget the mess here. It was neat before, but I had to move my keyboard because I was doing a stream last night with me trying to do December, where I haven't used DOS in God knows how many years, and so I was trying to install NetWare, the server thing that used to run on top of DOS before Microsoft took them out of business. Well, they are not completely out of business, but yeah. So yeah, it's getting very tiring here. I am there's I don't know where I'm supposed to be in my life. And I feel like as I get older, I'm like in my for and almost gonna be 40. That's what really freaks me out. In March. Shouldn't have to worry about it now. But I just feel like I don't I am it's always my fault. Everything is my fault. Everything is my freaking fault. Oh, if you just took more responsibility and stop blaming other people for your problems, they're the ones that caused the problem and they're not taking the responsibility. It's like, I'm tired of gaslighting myself. You know, what happened this month too was I terminated a relationship with my former support staff, and that was very hard for me to cut the ties of a codependent relationship. A word, the word he didn't even know when I said about it in another context. He didn't even, never even heard the word before. And then I had to say to myself, Sam, stop talking clinical to people because they don't use clinical words because they're not going to understand. I know too much. Literally, this one I will admit to. And it, it's he and I are the same. Everything is like flat. And I just didn't want to be in that very secluded relationship. That's how I felt. Like I felt like he was just keeping me. I didn't like it. So I broke that relationship in email earlier this month. Too much of my frustration. I'm sorry, I'm not talking fast enough. I'm really tired. And I woke up like after 8:30 this morning, and I woke up at sunrise, which was like 7:15. And so I I just think through everything, and then just like my body is tired. It can't think through things like it once did. The other thing that I was gonna go back with the men part is going back to just how I felt so devalued. It was mostly women that were really masculine. So, I've said this before, like, narcissism was mostly a male thing. It's now getting even, but women are very masculine. I'm not, and this is what I think the biggest thing I learned this year, what femininity is in the theory, in the theoretical sense, because I was around so much masculine tomboy, boss bitch, whatever, insert stereotype here. And it was only probably this year I figured out what was more feminine. It's not just about agreeableness. It's not about agreeableness. It's about being, not having to punish people. Like the cunt that's gonna become governor. She is barely feminine. And there's just a lack of there's just a lack of people that just are empathetic, that just not needing to punish people, because that's another problem, is how many men are in this field that want to work with people like me. And you wonder why there's no men that work with people like me. Seriously, why aren't there not enough men that want to work with people like me? Is because they're not emotionally available people, because they're just they're just like the trained man that knows how to fix things. I know that's such a stereotype, but how a man fixes things is he's got a mental manual. Oh, do this, do this, do that. Well, it works every time. Oh, you don't work that way? You don't operate that way? Well, you must be broken. And that's how men are. And women kind of act that way. A lot of the women in the clinical field, in MBA or many of these, paraprofessional, whatever, they work like men. But then their voice, well, let me see if I can try to do a crackly voice here to sound like a boy and a girl at the same time. Oh boy, I need to fix you. I gotta look at my manual and well, you don't fit that criteria. I don't know how to fix you. And that's part of the problem. It's this, the ABA is clearly a fix or a mask or whatever, but it's the type of people too. And they're that way off the clock too. And that's why I don't think there's a lot of men, because men are not willing to be emotionally understanding that these people are humans. They have multiple they have multiple they're multi-dimensional people, because men look at things really flat. They don't see, I mean, they're very logical. They look at they follow light, basically. Light doesn't really travel in nuances. They just think the light is flat, right? It's the same thing with women, masculine women that work with people like me. So there's hardly any feminine people out there that understand nuance. They can't understand subliminal stuff. They can't understand things through riddles. You have to talk to them like they're a machine. You have to say you gotta talk directly. And then of course whenever they're around men, they don't like it. You know why? Because then they can't be powerful. And in New Hampshire, the people like to control. They love to control. They can't control how to respond. They want to control how other people think. I love freedom. Really, freedom my ass. Responsibility comes with freedom. It's funny how no one does that either. And this is why I don't really like this state. And I gotta get the hell out of this state. I just hate masculinity. And I'm gonna do a video probably, if I can, in the next year, which will be a week from now, less than a week from now, about how I don't like masculinity. So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just sign off now. I'm getting tired and I gotta go find something. Like I said, I'm just trying to I might just give it for the weekend. It was a Christmas present. It was a crafty thing. And I just forgot where I put it because I was just moving. I'm just like a tornado. No offense to anybody. I know there's a big tornado storm that's gonna likely hit the south. I don't want to be sensitive to my audience, unlike men. I don't care because I just attack and straight out of my ass. So, anyhow, I'm gonna go. That's all I wanted to say. Sum it up. Just tired of all this masculine crap, feeling useless, feeling hopeless, and just feeling like I don't belong here. And it's like, is there anyone else that really cares about people like me, other than the people in my own peer group that think about their own identity, not their experiences or whatever? It's just like, oh, I don't know. All right. Have a great one. Bye.